Okay, so last week we talked about the playoff structure, how the playoff matches will go, and we also talked or explained what the playoff power will be. In this video, I'll tell you guys how your team can gain this playoff power up. Again, just for flashback, please pause the video if you don't remember what the playoff power up is. And if you haven't watched the previous video, go ahead and please pause this video so you can get a bit better understanding of what the value of this power up is. I'll move on. Now, how can you gain this power up? It's by RCC stocks. So basically, if you guys don't know what stocks are, I'll explain to you very simply in a scenario. There's a company, that company is selling shares, and you and me are buying those shares. If the company does better than expected, the value of the share that you or me got will increase. If the company does less than expected, the value of the share that you or me got will decrease. That's what basically, in the simplest way, of what a stock is, right? That's what stocks are. Now, taking this, how it would work in a tournament is that the 12 core players will be the companies. And those actual players will be investing on other core players as well. Not investing, buying shares from each core player. If the player does better than expected, it'll be obviously the value of the share will increase. If the player does worse than expected, the value of the share will decrease. Now, what's the expectation? I will tell you further in this video what the expectation is, and that basically this whole video will revolve around this expectation. How it work out. So this table is the simplest way to explain how the RCC stocks will work out. If you see on your left, there's C1, C2, C3. So C1 stands for category 1, C2 stands for category 2, C3 stands for category 3. Now the 12 core players will be divided into 3 categories, C1 being the highest quality players and C3 being the lowest quality players. Now, if you're willing to buy a share from this player, from this category, you have to pay 20 coins. Notice how I said coins, not points. Those are 2 different currencies in this tournament. So if I was buying a share from a player which is in category 1, who's in category 1, I'll have to pay 20 coins. Same thing goes with category 2. Same thing goes with category 3. Category 2 is 17 coins. Category 3 is 15 coins. Now, how I talked about if the player does better than expected, the share value will increase. Well, if a category 1 player does better than expected, the share value will increase by 5 points. Same thing with category 2, 3 points. Category 3, 2 points. If the player does worse than expected, it will be -2 coins deduction. Sorry if I said points before, but it'll be -2 coins deduction, -3 coins deduction, -5 coins deduction. So that's how it'll be working. And each player will be selling 15 shares. And from category 1, you can buy maximum of 2 shares. From category 2, you can buy maximum of 3 shares. From category 3, you can buy maximum of 5 shares. If you guys still not understanding it, I'll have a scenario, and hopefully that scenario will make it much more simpler for you guys to understand. And if you still guys don't understand, please message me. I can reply to you as soon as possible. Extra rules. Basically, we talked about what's this expectation. The expectation is a question. Each of the 12 core players will be assigned a question. That question could be like, will Araf take 10 wickets in this tournament, or will Sai make 100 runs in this tournament? And this tournament is only the group stage matches, by the way. So those are the type of questions that will be there. If again the player fulfills the assigned question, those are invested in that player shares will either earn again a profit, meaning you get more than you put, or you get the exact same coins. If the player does not fulfill the question as expected, you get lower than what you put in. Again, there will be an example. So if you guys still don't understand, uh, hopefully the explanation will help you guys out. Example. Let's just assume that Deepish is in category one, and I buy one of Deepish's shares, which is 20 coins. So Deepish is in category one. I buy one of Deepish's shares, which is 20 coins. The question for Deepish is, will Deepish take 10 wickets in the tournament? Notice the tournament is only the group stage matches. And the Trailblazers, assuming Deepish is in Trailblazers, will play 4 matches for the Trailblazers. The matches will be divided into stage one, which is the first 2 matches, and stage two, which is the last 2 matches. Now, what's the point of stage one and stage two? The point is for evaluation. So you know if the player's on par with the expectation, on par with the question, or not on par with the question, or doing better than expectation than what the question was. So like I said, the expected result by the end of stage one, which means the first 2 matches, is for Deepish to take 5 wickets, which makes sense, right? The question is, will Deepish take 10 wickets in the tournament? And Deepish plays 4 matches, right? So the stage one, which is the first 2 matches, Deepish will have to take 5 wickets, is an expectation. Same thing for stage two, Deepish will have to take 5 wickets. And there could be 3 possible scenarios that might happen, 3 possible results that might happen in any one of those 2 stages. Deepish could do better than expected, so take more than 5 wickets in a stage. Deepish might take less than 5 wickets in a stage, or Deepish might exactly take 5 wickets in a stage. Well, let's just go through all of these 3 scenarios. So let's say Deepish takes more than 5 wickets. Since I invested in Deepish for 20 coins, I get a share value increase because he did better than what the expectation was. So I get a share value increase of 5 points. Again, if Deepish does better than expectation, 5 points increase. If any one of these stages, if Deepish takes less than 5 wickets, there's a share value decrease, meaning, again, the -2. So if Deepish does not take 5 wickets in any one of those 2 stages, it's a share value decrease. If Deepish somehow takes exactly 5 wickets, then my share value does not increase or decrease. So it'll stay 20. It will not increase nor decrease. It will just stay 20. Hopefully that gave you more a sense of how this will look like. Basically, this is a structure of how it looked like. Next slide will be obviously the criteria, but this is the background of how RCC stocks will look like. Questions or concerns, please message me. I will make sure each and every player in this tournament has 100% understanding of how this will work like. So the criteria is each player can buy a maximum of 10 shares. So 10 shares, obviously 10 shares could be 10 shares has to be, category one, you have to buy maximum of 2 shares. Category two, you have to buy maximum of 3 shares. Category three, you have to buy maximum of 5 shares. If you wanted to buy maximum shares, this is the only way you can buy it. Also, obviously the stocks will close after the last group stage game. So after the last group stage game is over, the stocks will close. End result. So what's the point of this, right? What's the point of the stocks? How is it connected to the power up? So whichever team has the highest amount of coins remaining, that team will be the team to have the power up during the playoffs. So after all this buying shares, all that stuff, after each team does that, whichever team ends up having the highest amount of coins remaining will be the team to gain that power up in the playoffs. So there's no limit, honestly, of there's no like purse value that each team has. So I would honestly just buy the shares well, make sure obviously you invest carefully, and it's gonna be pretty fun as well. Uh, it's a fun aspect to this tournament. Something I'll try more forward as well if this works out well. Again, questions or concerns, please message me. And I forgot one last thing. So category one are, remember I said, are the highest quality players. These people will have the hardest questions to fulfill. Category three is the lowest quality players, and these guys will have the easiest questions to fulfill, right? So again, a little bit more attention you might have to pay on who I'm investing in. So you get obviously more profits, more gains, so you can gain that power up in the playoffs. Again, you can, once you gain that power up, if you do well in stocks, you can use your power for any one of these games. And it's so important, it's so vital because one player can change the course of where you end up. If you did absolutely bad in your group stage matches, even losing all the group stage matches, right? Having some hope you can win the eliminator, let's say, you can go in the semifinals, use the power up and win the semifinals because that one player might make a difference. And already you're in the finals, even losing 4 games. So that power up is just so vital, so important. So this is how it's going to work out. This is how you can gain that power up. Obviously, it's not mandatory for everyone to do it, but those of you team players that really want to gain that power up, this is the only way that you guys can do it. So make sure you guys strategize for this as well and try your best. First time we're doing it. Again, questions or concerns, please, please, please message me. I will reply back as soon as possible. The category list for each of these categories, category 1, 2, 3, will be released soon. Most probably before Monday, I want to say. I'm not promising you that, but most probably before Monday. And once the categories will be released as well, so will the questions as well. So stay tuned for that. That will be released actually to the captains, not publicly in the group. And again, just telling you generally that if you get hands on the category list, please, please, please do not chat about this in the general chat or general chat at all, right? We don't want this to happen. So make sure if you get hands on to the category list or the questions, keep it to yourself. This makes sure it's pretty rude to do it, talk about it in the general chat, even though if it's a good thing or a bad thing, doesn't matter, but just don't do it. That's all. So please stay tuned for this category list. Again, questions or concerns, please message me. I'll reply to you as soon as possible. Thank you.